Welcome, everybody, to the Broken Campfire stream podcast.
Oh.
But also, this
stream.
you might be hearing this bit on your audio feed because we're doing our first hour of our stream live on twitch.tv. And we might be releasing it as a podcast later. Regardless, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Oh, nothing.
Hello.
We're chilling.
Doing good.
All
It's
right.
a lot earlier than we normally meet.
Yeah, usually it's like 9, 10, 1 a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah, usually.
I'm all hopped up on coffee.
Do you guys remember that podcast? I can't remember who all was there, but we did one at like 1 a.m.
I
It
don't
was like
remember
a
that.
never again thing.
Too late for me.
For what? Was it a
I was like, I was absolutely.
It was one of the
probably
very
not
first
there.
podcasts. I want to say like first 5, first 10 maybe.
Oh yeah, those are the dark ages.
It was when our cast was still a little unsettled.
Yeah.
Because I want to say like Cal was on there. Cal, great guy, of course, but
Oh, that must have been really
Yeah,
nonsense.
yeah.
The ratings were not great back then. We got a lot of user feedback about
No.
Not due to
Not
Cal,
great
though.
now,
Cal's fine.
but
all right,
It's
but
better
they
now.
weren't
John,
great back
we're,
then either.
John, we're gonna talk about that comment after the stream. All right.
Hey,
But we did do a lot of market testing though for the cast afterwards, and this is the group. This is the group that people like the most.
Yeah, and unfortunately, in order to like get all of you guys onto the stream, I had to ignore most of that market advice.
Ooh.
So we're not really in a whole lot better position than we were. Actually, you guys probably won't believe me, but rating wise, the other group tested better. But hey,
well, I always
you know,
I
thought
don't
we were
believe
more
that.
in the business of trend setting than trying to,
We don't follow. Yeah.
yeah,
not
no, that's
cheap.
good, John. Yeah, that's
Cut our
a
own
good
path.
way to sell it to the plebes. So yeah, what's up? John's playing Binding of Isaac. Is this all you've been doing the last week, John?
No, I have been on my own journey that I didn't tell anyone about up until maybe 10 minutes ago. Even
Oh shit, what's your own journey?
I had a dream.
Oh.
And I don't remember, what the dream was or what I was doing. I just remember the essence of the dream. And in this dream, I was playing Abe's Odyssey. So then that day, I got up and I downloaded.
You put thought to action, and
You played the
And-
new
and you
one,
didn't?
right?
Everyone stop guessing things because none of it's real
Alright.
or true. So I got up. Well, it's kind of true. Greg kind of got it true. So, and then I downloaded the. I guess this came out in June. I didn't realize. Well, I believe I don't know when the original came out.
It came out on Epic, the Epic Gamer Store. If you're talking about the new
Yeah.
one.
Well, anyways, to Steam, the definitive edition of the Oddworld Soulstorm, which is a remake of the second game. And I played the demo and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." But then I stopped and I went back even further, and I remember two reasons. I remember liking this game a lot as a young lad, and that new game High on Life heavily reminded me of this. I went back and I downloaded Oddworld Stranger's Wrath,
Oh man,
which is Xbox. It might have been on other things, but I played on the Xbox.
that wasn't
original.
an Xbox exclusive.
It probably was. I don't know, but I remember playing on the Xbox, so I wouldn't be surprised.
They re-released
yeah, if
that.
there's an Oddworld game, it
sorry,
probably was.
That was a question.
I think
they
it was.
released that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I liked it a lot as a kid, and like I said, I was playing it up until like 20 minutes ago. I've been enjoying it a lot.
Huh.
As a redo, I kind of wish they would have done a sequel or something.
that that whole franchise has escaped me.
Same.
I know a little
too.
bit about it, but I've never played any of the.
Well, so
games
the
in it.
Oddworld, I don't know what you would call it, moniker, title, was
Brand?
originally set just as like that's what it is. It's Oddworld, and they wanted to have various games, of different types take place in it. So the original Abe's Odyssey is very much like a kind of puzzle platformer.
Right.
You're playing Abe, and you're trying to save you and your buddies, and you got to do it by, you have different abilities. It's almost like a Lemmings kind of game, sort of. And then Oddworld Stranger's Wrath is completely different. It's a first-person / third-person shooter / like adventure game where you are this strange creature and you're it's basically an old west type game. You're a bounty hunter and you're hunting down these it doesn't matter
Am I
what
crazy, or does it have like a pseudo open world, or is it pretty linear?
so I mean you have open environments, but it's
Okay.
you pick your bounty and then it's like go over here. But there are small open world areas or open world sections. But the twist of the game or the draw of the game is that the ammo that you have is it's like live ammo. It's like different animals and stuff. And you have a lot of freedom in the way you play. Like you have like a little squirrel you can shoot that'll call nearby enemies. And from there, you could either have like a little trap blade with like little fur balls that attack anything that goes near it, or you can like come up with like a giant. You can shoot a spider and it like ensnares guys. And you're a bounty hunter, so when people are either incapacitated or dead, you can suck them up and collect their bounty. Obviously, you get more for people being alive. And there's an overarching narrative, but most of the game you're just catching these bounties, and they all have kind of different gimmicks to the levels. A real old school type of game. I would recommend it highly.
Yeah, sounds sick.
Flash, you sound like you've played it before.
Okay,
And sorry, were you playing this on
owned
the
it
PC,
since the
John,
OG
or what?
Xbox days, but I never actually played the game
Okay,
somehow.
so this is funny. I'm playing on the PC, and it's working fine, but there was a little jank runaround to get it to work because when you, at least for me, and I did read it online, some people are having this problem. When you start the game up, you have the option of playing mouse and keyboard or controller. And if you pick the controller setting, all of your everything is just on like D-pad left, and there's no way to change it. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. But if you pick the mouse and keyboard setting, um, it'll give you all the controls like in the tutorial in mouse and keyboard terms, but the controller is completely mapped out like how it should be. You just have to figure out like when it says control key, it means Y. Basically, you just gotta figure out in your head what is what,
Right.
and it works perfectly
Mhm.
fine. So when you start the game up, you gotta pick mouse and keyboard, even if you're playing with the controller. I didn't try playing with the mouse and keyboard just because that's not how I remember it.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm having a great time. I'm towards the end of the game. I probably have like I don't know, like an hour or two left. And I've been playing for about 10 hours. It's a 12-hour game or so. Decent for around that time or expected for around that time. But yeah, I mean I couldn't recommend it more. If you looked at High on Life, that's like the game with the Rick and Morty game with the gun
Just a
that talks
Roiland
to you.
game,
If you
yeah.
looked at that and like, oh, that the gimmick kind of looks fun. I mean, just that alone, you can kind of like this because like the different ammo they have little personalities and they will talk to you. Um,
Oh, they do talk. Okay.
yeah, a little bit like the squirrel. Like he'll have little catchphrases. I'm actually mostly just the squirrel. I think actually now that I'm thinking about it, the squirrel is the only one that talks.
I thought they
But
just
he'll have little
wordlessly
catchphrases.
feared for their
Squirrel.
lives.
They all have different little personalities, like little fuzzballs, little crazy looking monsters, and they all like growl and stuff. And they have stuff going on. And the NPCs are really funny. I kind of want to get into it now, but they're a hoot. They're like little chicken people, and they have funny catchphrases.
Cool.
I wonder how that
Yeah,
runs
that's-
on like Zemu or something like that, like an Xbox emulator. I wonder if it's compatible.
Yeah, I
Don't
wouldn't be
those
surprised.
still not really work very well?
The Xbox is still pretty rough just because it's a
Notoriously
difficult system to
so.
emulate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm probably going to go because at some point in time I bought all these games. I don't know if I bought them in a collection or whatever. But I have New and Tasty, which is the remake of the first game. I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play Soulstorm.
That was recently-ish, right? I remember hearing about it in the last few years. Am I crazy?
2017, I want to say something like that.
Okay. Well,
And
I guess
then-
recently-ish.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then there is a Oddworld Munch's Odyssey, which is I didn't play as a kid.
Yeah,
I believe that's a
baby.
platformer. It's a platformer. I didn't know this. It was made on the same engine as I think Morrowind.
What?
Something
Oh,
silly
that
like
would not surprise me.
or like a modified version of it. I don't know. I haven't played that one before though, so I'm looking forward to playing that. Like a
So you're moving on
platformer, I
to-
think. Greg seems
And
to
of course,
know
after
one.
that, you're gonna move on to Morrowind.
Yeah, I played that. That was the one I played when I
that's
was
it.
a
That's all the
small
games.
lad.
After that, I'll
I
probably
want.
just off myself.
I just want to say, John,
Nice.
your performance in Binding of Isaac, especially against that last boss, was impeccable. Given that
Yeah.
you were on a very good discussion about that game. Well thought
That
out
guy's a
too.
toughie.
Wait, this isn't. He's not just running like a task bot right now. This is him.
No, dude, he's a consummate professional. What's he gonna
Oh,
pick?
Oh yeah,
By the way,
real
why did
quick,
you
this
pick that
is
hard
not
up?
for the viewers at home. All right, so you may have noticed I'm not normal Isaac. I'm tainted Isaac. You can see in the top left corner, I have 4 slots that are filled and 4 empty slots. The only difference is they have tainted versions of all the characters. They play a little differently. So this one, I'm only allowed 8 items. However, as you can see, it's changing between 2. So I have more
What?
options, but I'm capped at 8 items.
Oh, that's sick.
So I'm going to, and because I'm on a special floor, there's actually this pedestal is also items. I just can't see what they are, so I could go crazy and just try and do that.
If you guys are at
Get a
home
little
listening to
kiss.
the audio version of this, keep in mind we're going to try to keep you guys in the loop, but you can check this whole podcast out on Twitch too to see the video, as well as the rest of the stream is going to be on Twitch, and Flask will probably do his usual Flask YouTube thing.
Stream
Cutting 'em up.
segments on YouTube. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I've pretty much actually just been Oddworld and
Cool.
oh yeah, I watched. I started it like 2 days ago and I finished it today. I watched Thor: Love and Thunder. It came to Disney Plus.
Yo, what do you think?
You
Me and
love
Flask
it
have
and
both.
thunder
Me and
it?
Flask have both talked about that on the pod.
Yeah, I mean overall, it was whatever. It's a standalone movie. Maybe it's just completely by itself. Uh, you could be like, all right, that's fine. There's a greater MCU movie. It just makes more questions than anything. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm sure you guys brought up, and I don't even think it's nitpicking. Like, why didn't like if Thor had the ability to give his power to a bunch of like children and make them like, invincible warriors? Why didn't he do that when they were like fighting Thanos and could have done that for
Yeah,
everybody? Like, I
yeah.
mean, that's like a huge thing. It's not like
That
oh, you're nitpicking. That's like a crazy. I
An
don't know.
entire Wakanda of Thors.
maybe it's funny because I did. I mean, obviously, I didn't view it as a standalone movie because I know it has a lineage, but because I don't really watch, I don't keep up with the MCU, and I just happened to see this one in theaters. I did kind of see it more standalone-y. I didn't pick up on that at all. That is a good observation. For me, I just felt like the movie, like the humor never really landed for me. It felt like it was very much try-hardy. And
Yeah, I'm gonna butcher his name. What's the director's name?
Taika
Taika
Waititi.
Waititi.
Watiti.
I normally enjoy him. I really liked What We Do in the
Yeah.
Shadows, but I don't think it worked for Thor.
No,
I
don't
think he's
it
been
did.
indulging
Like,
himself more and more, and it's gotten a little silly.
Like the scene where there's a lot of ways you could nitpick it, but like I'm just picking out one scene because it sticks in my head as like a big example of that. When Thor first like mind projects to see the kids all trapped in the little cell, and it's like just bit after bit for like 2 or 3 minutes at this very serious, what feels to me like should be a serious sober moment, and then at the very end of that scene, like the music cuts for a second, Thor just says really seriously for all of 5 seconds, I'm gonna get you kids out of here, and then it just cuts immediately to another bit. It's like, damn, they really just can't like be serious for a
Help
second, let it
themselves,
breathe.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's just how I nitpick it, but
No, I agree.
that is like for me was the movie.
Yikes. A little cringe, John, but whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I agree. It wasn't wild, but I guess despise it.
I did like Christian Bale a lot. I thought that he was pretty good in as the God Killer thing.
Mm-hmm.
John, if you like Taika, you should really check out his show, Our Flag Means Death. It's a really nice
Yeah.
show.
I liked it.
Check it out.
I'm really excited for season 2 whenever it comes out.
Oh, what do you think about Lady Thor? I thought I liked her story quite a bit in this movie, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's taken mostly from the comics. I mean, not that it really matters. I mean, there's bad stuff in the comics too.
Right.
But yeah, I had no problem with it. Are you asked me if I identified with Lady Thor? Is that what you're getting at?
No, not at all. I didn't even think about that. I was just on the podcast. I had said that Lady Thor's story was probably my favorite arc of the movie.
Yeah, I thought her
just,
hammer was cool. I
I
thought
re-
like it breaking into pieces. I thought that looked pretty badass.
I resonated with it. You know what I mean? I thought it was cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that's me. That's my round table.
John,
Sweet.
you're still dreaming, John. Wake up.
Who's next?
No.
Well, I just got one game really. I played Yaki Kawazi 2.
Oh yeah.
I started that. Sorry, Yakuza Kiwami 2. Yeah, there's not. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this game that we haven't said a million times with all the Yakuza games. So I'll just say that like it feels really modern and fresh. Like I know this is a new engine compared to what I've played before, and I like the feeling. This is cool how crowded the city is with people. The performance isn't always great. City looks cool at night. I'm digging the story so far, so no complaints. But yeah, I'm having a good time with it.
Cool.
Nice.
What chapter are you on?
6, maybe 5 or 6. I've gotten a ways in, not super far in, but oh, you know, I was just the Majima clan creator thing. I think the very last thing I did was the first time you do that with Majima.
Construction.
Yeah, where like
Oh yeah, I actually did that all the way through on my playthrough.
yeah, it seemed kind of cool. It's like a little mini RTS mini game inside
Yeah.
the game. Yeah.
Last night I installed Yakuza 0 again. Since the
Oh
last
boy, here we go.
Since the last time I've played it, I think I've installed it and uninstalled it twice.
Dude,
Like gearing myself
you
up
either
to
gotta
play
let it go or just do it.
Yeah.
Push through.
I genuinely did enjoy my time playing it. It's just like it's just really fucking long, and it's really hard for me to keep up with a game that's like very long.
Smell you.
But I did enjoy it.
Also, just do it.
I mean,
yeah.
Like a big reason why I like those games, honestly, is because of how long they are. Because like, if I don't know what I want to do, and I get in that mood a lot where like I would just want to play something, but I don't know what. It's easy for me to just be like, oh, just hop on Yakuza, do a few side stories, do some mini games. Like I don't have to like do the story. You know what I mean? I can just run around and do stuff because they're really good at making surprisingly engaging side content mini games.
Right. It might be an attention span thing, honestly, because I really love a short, succinct game.
That's weird because you won't play Paradigm.
It's on the list. It's in the queue.
It's not even on the list.
I swear to God, that's my game. If that's the retro pick for today, I know that's not really retro. I'd scream.
That would be a funny retro
just
pick.
making you play a game you won't
make me play a game that yeah.
Oh hey, sorry, I gotta cut you off, Vito. We got a message from the chat. A Blitzman 4783 says cap.
Oh sweet,
one of our long loyal viewers. Thank you for being
here. Thanks Blitzman. How you doing?
Thanks Blitzman. I'll call you B-Man for short.
Blitz?
Yeah.
I don't like calling you that because someone who has that name kind of makes me angry a lot. So I'm gonna call you Blitzman.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Blitzman. He's pretty cool.
I still haven't beaten Elden Ring, which is another game that I've left installed and don't know when I'll pick it up. But it's just again, I've loved every minute of it. Like this is a fucking great game, but it's just so long. I think I just lose. I don't know if I lose interest or lose focus. Yeah. I like a nice short game. Return of the Obra Dinn. It's great.
I can definitely understand that mentality.
Real great short game. Yeah.
I think Return of the Obra Dinn is pretty close to the top of my list of games that I wish I could forget about and play again.
Yeah.
Me too.
I've said this before on the pod, but I might have played my best little fucking run of gaming was Disco Elysium into.
You bounced off that one a few times.
I bounced off that. Yeah, I don't remember if it was Outer Wilds or Disco Elysium first, but it was one into the other and then into Return of the Obra Dinn. Yeah, it was Disco Elysium into Outer Wilds into Return of the Obra Dinn, and those are the 3 best games I've ever played, probably.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and yeah, big recommendation from Flask on Obra Dinn. And speaking of Disco, I just started another playthrough with but my girlfriend is manning the controller. It's her playthrough, and I'm sitting by.
How is the
Nice.
controller on that game?
Oh,
Does it work
it's pretty good. I guess the one noticeable thing is like, so instead of moving a mouse around to click on items, you toggle through them all with the right stick.
well? Ooh,
So
okay.
So it's not.
It can be a bit clunky when you got like rows of stuff in your inventory. I bet.
Yeah.
Which she's probably not at that point yet, but
Or just
you
like
know,
if you're in a room and there's a bunch of things that you can interact with. To interact with one
Ah.
particular one, you have to tap the stick, and then it will start at one item in the room, and then you got to tap it again until you get to your item, and then you got to
yeah, you got to get used to that.
So
I can
yeah,
see
it's a
that.
little clumsy, but maybe better than that right stick acting as a mouse.
Right.
So, but it hasn't stopped us from playing it. I'm really enjoying.
All right. Cool.
This is like I've been waiting to get into another playthrough of Disco, and this is like the perfect time with us watching Twin Peaks, and
Yeah.
I just needed some vibes, some good vibes.
We only got 3 episodes left in season 2.
Yeah, did we talk about Twin Peaks at all?
Yeah. I
Let's
feel like we
not.
talked.
I know. No, I'm sorry. I know we talked about it. We didn't talk about it since I finished the Laura Palmer arc.
No, but I agree with Flash though. Let's not like
Okay,
just because that can
It's a
take a
big
lot
one.
of time.
It's a big
I feel
one.
like it'll be
Yeah.
great for next time because by that point you guys will probably have watched like Firewalk with Me at least. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, though, to be fair, we should warn our listeners, the loyal Vito stands out there, how
Yeah.
few you may be, that Vito's going to be gone for a while. To Italy or something like that.
Yeah, I'm going
And
to Italy.
we'll post his hotel and everything so you guys can hang out.
Finally, the from Campfire started paying off. We got our checks. We decided to.
Cash
we
out right
need-
away. I'm not trying to be
need to-
responsible with that money at all.
We're sending him to Italy. We need to get like a Fabio. You know what I mean? We need to get like our own guy who's coming back while he's gone.
Like
Yeah, straight up.
like
Like a
a what do they
foreign
call that?
exchange
Exchange student? Yeah.
It's what you know what I'm talking about. Sopranos listeners, is that his name, Fabio?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Maybe-
his name, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the
Okay.
Sopranos guy.
Never seen Sopranos. No idea.
Oh,
but
I guess
I
that
live
joke
it.
was
I don't
just
need
for
to-
John. Who didn't
I
say
don't need to
anything.
watch it. I live it.
Pass.
Flask.
Yeah.
What do you've been doing anything interesting you want to talk about for a few minutes here?
I got a couple things. Just because it's super relevant. I have been watching The Rings of Power on Amazon.
Oh God.
Oh, I seen the first episode. I did watch it. I
Oh,
just
okay.
forgot about it.
Yeah, we're on episode 3 now.
they had to hide your review, right?
No, it's whatever. And
Yeah, they deleted your review of under 6 points.
I guess I didn't watch episode 2, so
That tells them something, yeah. It's definitely a mixed bag. I'm seeing a lot of like mixed opinions online, but personally I'm more negative. It's
Big
like really
surprise.
it's Look, I like things, okay?
Well,
Doubt.
I
name,
just-
name 1,000.
yeah.
big
name
surprise
1,000
about this
things.
show.
Well, yeah. I mean, big surprise
Yeah.
that you would dislike this show.
I am not that big a fan of Lord of the Rings. Like I am not a fan. I am an enjoyer. You know, I don't really have
I know,
a
but-
vested interest
but
or
I-
passion.
But I know what your standards are.
Yes, I have certain standards. Definitely. It's like really expensive fan fiction. And it seems like by writers who aren't necessarily fans. Which they also don't have access to the Silmarillion, I guess. Or like they don't have full rights to the Silmarillion content. So they're working on like just addendum material, which to be fair is extensive in the back of the book, Lord of the Rings, but still it causes some awkwardness. But it depicts, well, it's not just kind of fan fiction-y in that it depicts events that aren't necessarily canon, which it does. Like it opposes canon in several ways, but also that the impression you're left with is they made a fantasy show with fantasy tropes, and it's happening in Middle Earth because that's a convenient setting that people know, not necessarily because the passion is there to like fully represent what people loved for so many decades. I mean, this is classic material they're working with here. It's honestly not a terrible show. I mean, it's pretty safe.
Makes you wonder why they didn't just do something in like the Fourth Age, where like there
Like
really
literally a
isn't ton
sequel?
of well, yeah, like there really isn't a ton of charted ground. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I mean, on paper, you would be like, well, it's good that they have source material so they can just adapt it one to one, you know? Like they don't have to try to think up their own ideas as
Right.
writers, because that's always a bit of a mess these days. But and yet they change so much stuff. It's like, what is even the point? But the production so far is well done, which you'd hope. But like the sets and or I should say the sets and the CG vistas and stuff like that, they're all very beautiful, very well made. Even the costuming is good, you know. But I think in some ways it does succeed in like capturing the spirit of awe of Middle Earth, the world during this era, the Second Age, even down to like the small things that are just fun to see. But that is accompanied by a feeling of like clunkiness, a lack of depth. Yeah, it's uneven. I would say they've also majorly fumbled Galadriel so far, which is disappointing since she's like the face of the show. She's on all the promotional material. She is the star of the show, and they've just massively
are they
mess
having to
with
do
her
like Legolas
character.
shit?
Yes, but that's like the least of the problems. Well, the least of
Oh,
the
wow.
problems is flipping elves. That's like that's baby
Wait, what do
shit
you mean?
compared to that is like surface level, kind of like
Oh,
cringe.
you mean okay? Yeah, sorry, you meant the Legolas shit. Sorry, I thought you
yeah,
meant like
sorry, yes, flipping elves.
I thought you meant for some reason the image I had in my mind was Galadriel flipping off Elrond and saying "fuck you."
I also was
She
thinking
She
that.
kind of does that though. She doesn't actually raise her middle
Oh,
finger,
yeah, actually,
but
a little bit.
she vocally she verbally flips people off all the time. She's
That or you-
unnecessarily angry and very unlikable to everyone. It's bizarre considering
Yeah,
she's
well-
supposed to be like 5,000 years old.
That's how I heard. It's like it's about they wrote it like that because this is like a young Galadriel, and I don't know. I guess she's since
But
mellowed
she's
out.
not though. It's so weird.
I mean, this is only like
That's
few
how they're
hundred
writing
years
her.
before the Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah, so she's already thousands of years old. It's
Yeah,
it's
to her, she is barely grown by the time the Lord of the Rings has happened. Like barely time has passed.
Did you guys see that article that tries to explain like why the showrunners are so inexperienced? Like the reason that Amazon gave them the show.
I mean, the real reason that these big companies, massive studios, hire new, fresh-faced people is because
So they
they
can
want to
bully 'em
control
around.
them.
Well, I want to cut you off real quick. What the fuck did
Yeah.
you just do, John? You were a devil and you just killed yourself and turned into an angel ghost.
Well, so as a quick aside here, this is a special floor, and what you can do is you can touch that white flame and make yourself a ghost. So I died the first time. Now, as a ghost, I can enter through the mirror world. But also as a ghost, I don't have health anymore. I just have one like buffer hit of damage, and that's all right. If I get hit again, I'm just dead.
And that's it.
This game
I'm
seems
scared.
made up.
Oh,
This is
now the
insane.
point of doing
He's
this
making
though,
things
is
up
to
as he
grab
goes.
an item, and you'll see. I'm just gonna go grab it right away. God, get rid of these guys. Get rid of these guys.
No.
This is a piece of a knife, and if you build the entire knife, you can kill Mom. Well, you already kill Mom, but you can get to a special version of Mom, like special boss fight.
Oh,
Double kill, Mom.
all right.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's depth. You know, there's it's basically like taking an alternate path in Spelunky or something.
All right,
So,
sorry,
yeah.
Flask.
There's still things to like about the show, but in almost every scene, there's a problem, and that's disappointing. And Galadriel is at the head of the problems, causing a lot of them herself. The only other thing I wanted to talk about was I've been playing some Star Wars Pinball VR,
course.
which is a collection of Star Wars pinball tables in VR.
I've been enjoying watching this. I've been watching you play.
Yeah,
quite
I've
a
been
bit.
streaming it.
You a
But it's
big
done up all
pinball guy?
fancy like. Not necessarily. No, not really. I
You have a
just
friend. Alex is a big pinball guy.
yeah, he was
Yeah,
in when
yeah,
I
yeah.
was streaming. We were talking pinball
Oh.
tables. He's played a lot of them.
I'll say though that like none of Alex's real world tables can do some of the stuff that I've seen these virtual tables do.
Right. They got like animations
were-
and moving models and like
Well,
cutscenes
even
and
like you
stuff
got
like that.
transported into like a speeder mini game.
I was in straight up a speeder chase in a pinball table,
Yeah.
transported to another dimension.
I know, man. You should see these pinball machines these days.
Yeah, I guess I haven't played many physical tables. I don't really know what the cutting edge
I'm
is
just,
like.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
They could be dimensional transporters. Nobody really knows.
Could be.
But yeah. So in this game, there's a campaign of missions. So they like set challenges for each table, and you progress through that, and you unlock decorations for your little Star Wars basement studio, the environment around you, around
cool.
the table that you play on.
Nice and cozy.
Yeah, it's a cozy vibe. I've mostly been doing that campaign, but every now and then I'll feel like I've got a handle on a particular table. I'll be like, oh, I can go further with this. So I'll switch over to classic mode to try to just rack up as many points as I can using my new skills. Basically testing my power, my force affinity.
How many midichlorians you've gained?
Yeah. Checking my midichlorian count.
My goal
Against
has
the
always
pinball
just
table.
been to keep the ball like on the board.
Keep ball go.
I didn't
Well,
know.
no.
I didn't know until later in life that there's like missions and side quests and shit in pinball
Oh, yeah.
machines. I had
Some
no
tables
idea.
are really complicated. The best ones have like
how-
clear, easy to understand goals that work with each other well. You know, those are the really broadly appealing tables.
What how much did this cost? This game?
I got it a while back. I forget if I got it on sale. I honestly don't remember. I forget if I got it on sale or something.
It was like MSRP
Um,
like $60 probably, or
I don't know. I don't remember. Someone can look
okay.
it up.
I was just randomly curious. Like this seemed like when I get VR, something that I would enjoy having around, but not something I would pay
Yeah.
like big ticket for at all. Just
Oh,
'cause,
I
like,
agree. Yeah.
I'm not a pinball guy, but I could see a
It's
pinball
also-
enthusiast really getting into it.
There's some pinball VR games that like Pinball FX V2 or whatever, or VR, FX2 VR, that have like larger collections of tables, but I think less production value than this one. So it's kind of a trade-off.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is this. Yeah, I would pay like I would get this on sale. It's like a limited selection, but good production value.
They need a pinball VR game that takes place in like a rundown small town family pizza joint. It just has a table in the corner.
I
Yeah.
want to say there's something out there that kind of replicates an arcade environment. It's not quite that like pizzeria local corner store thing, but I think there's like it replicates an entire arcade, and you can just walk up to any machine and play the arcade games. Not necessarily pinball, but maybe pinball.
Right.
I was just telling my girlfriend the other day, I really am hankering to go to like an actual arcade. I don't think
Dude,
they
Yeah.
don't really exist like around here anymore.
there's we didn't get a chance. We didn't really look into it, but we didn't have much time for the Gen Con that we went to. But there's a couple barcades in Indy. I haven't been to any of them, but I've had like 2 or 3 times where we've like planned on going and then didn't. Me and my friends. I really want to do
Mhm.
that.
We do have a couple barcades actually. Now that you mentioned it, I kind of forgot about those as arcade experiences.
That's
I
that's
guess
what
I-
they are. That's
Yeah.
the experience these days, at least in America. I think is barcades are a growing scene. Like that's got to be where it's at right now.
Definitely around my area, yeah. But the only real negative for the Star Wars Pinball VR is that the inability to tell the game that you're playing seated. So it just assumes you're only ever standing. So you can play seated, like just sit down, but it tends to hurt the neck to look down more than you're supposed to
yeah.
for extended periods. But aside from that, fun tables, nice extra animations. stuff you wouldn't get in real life, and lots of knockoff voice lines to laugh at. Some from the
Oh, yeah, for
movies
sure.
in some tables, but some are like Yoda saying, hit the lit spot. You know, it's like, you just can't help but
Really?
chuckle. Yeah. So that's Star Wars
Hit the
Pinball
lid.
VR.
Or,
Hit the liddy, then the
one of my favorites, the
gritty.
Rogue One
90s,
table.
boy.
Colonel Kruger, fucking hiding behind the pinball table and then coming out sometimes.
Yeah, he scared the shit out of me. He just there's 2 troopers to each side, and then when you lose, he just pops around and blasts you like a jump scare. It got me.
Oh, is it? This boss like chases you throughout the world, John.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I've
sick.
never seen this
I have a
before.
mod that puts the SpongeBob song on.
Oh, I don't have the volume on.
Please
but
don't
yeah,
copyright
that's,
strike us.
That's me.
Probably, actually.
Greg, I know you've been playing Final Fantasy 14. Well, me and you played a little bit of Played Up. That
Yeah.
game is sick. We're gonna be playing it later on tonight. You got
Yeah, those are cool, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. I just watch One Piece now, man. I'm a One Piece guy.
There he is.
Everyone loves One Piece. One Piece.
Piece, everybody get up from One Piece.
piece.
I've watched in the span of a week. I've watched about 60 episodes
Hell
God.
yeah.
since we last talked. I was on 609. Now I'm on 669.
He's really going for it.
Bro, nice.
God, dude, One Piece is so great. Everybody who's listening to this, watch One Piece. Just stop what you're doing. Pause this.
Just stop.
Watch
just
One
stop
Piece, then come
consuming all
back.
media or anything except One Piece, and then you can maybe finish.
That's what I've
it.
done.
Greg,
and
This
why are
time
you
next
on this
year.
live stream right now? This is valuable One Piece time. You know that.
I
So-
believe. I
Yeah.
believe Greg has a second monitor.
Yeah, you
One
idiots don't
Piece.
think he's got a third monitor set on One Piece.
No, I'm actually more interested in this whole greed thing John's doing with Binding of
Right, right. So
Isaac.
you're in
I can't
Dressrosa,
have One Piece on. I'm in
which is a
Dressrosa.
pretty highly regarded arc. People like
Dude,
it. I
John.
mean, it is a good one.
Do you know who I met?
Oh, I know.
I met Sabo, dog. I don't care about fucking spoilers. Nobody cares. Nobody cares here.
I mean, we are
Dude.
live on stream, so
Crazy. Fuck them.
oh,
John, Dressrosa is so goddamn good. Oh my god. There's a Coliseum tournament arena.
Good
Great,
tournament. Classic tournament.
fantastic. Classic tournament. Fucking, there's like 8 other sub stories going on, and those are all great too. Just, it's so good, man. I can't wait. I can't wait till I'm done with this silly little stream so I can go back to watching.
I
I
know.
forget. Did you watch any of the movies with us? Or have you seen any?
No,
movies?
I've not.
I would say you're. I
I
would
have
say
not
you're at
seen
a
any
point where
movies.
you can just about watch any movie and not worried about having stuff spoiled for you.
Thank
Uh,
goodness.
Cover this latest one. I mean, what's the latest one you can still watch? But
Oh, Red.
but
Yeah, I
there
think-
is
I
there
think
is
that's, like-
some pretty crazy stuff that hasn't even happened in the anime yet. That will happen at the end of Red. I heard for a little bit, split second.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool.
But yeah, Dressrosa is pretty solid. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's the longest arc so far. Well, for you, but Wano is even longer. I think Dressrosa.
Yeah, I
is
heard
over
Wano's like-
it's over 50 episodes easy. I want to say it's close to like
Jeez
100.
lordy.
Dressrosa. I'm thinking of. It's a long. It's long. I know that. Longer than hell.
Yeah, I think it goes into because it starts on 6:30, and I think it goes up into like the 700s or past 700. So I'm not 100% where it's at, but there's a lot.
Nice.
I get it. I
I'm glad
understand.
you're enjoying it. We're
Thank
gonna
you, man.
hey,
Thank
look,
you.
our buddy taking a vacation in October. I should be better. We're gonna hammer through, dude. We're right about to we
Just
finished
day
we
and
finished in
night.
this lobby. We're about to get into Thriller Bark.
You know what? And I'll get into it too. We're also going to finish the Red Prince storyline on that break.
Oh,
sure.
absolutely. Let it
Yeah.
be
Just gotta get
known.
done.
Well, listen, one of those statements was a lie. Depending on which one you believe, that's on you.
I'll listen
Well,
to
and,
it.
that, and that's all anybody has to say in recent gaming. Greg, did you have anything else?
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I've just played Zomboid whenever I have the chance. I like to get on that and just build like a little base or just beat up zombies.
Well,
Some old classic fun.
Cathartic.
Podcasters, feel free at this point if you guys need to, you know, freshen up a little bit before we get going with the Game of Life 2
I might powder
Yes.
up a little bit.
at 3:30.
get
I'm
that
gonna
nose
go check
powder.
if my
Might
dip
go
is
to the-
hard. I'll
Might
be
go to
right
the powder
back.
room. I still don't know what he's talking
I think
about.
I'm just gonna read through some of our news and talk freely about it. You guys just feel free to come in and out.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Rafael Colantonio, the director of Prey, thought that using the name was a mistake and was assigned that name by Bethesda.
Well, he was
That's-
right.
He was correct, and that's like such a weird decision that he would make. So anyway, here's some direct quotes from the guy, and this guy I believe is also who made Weird West with his new studio.
Oh,
I didn't want to call this game Prey, and I had to say I wanted to anyway in front of journalists. I hate to lie. It felt bad to support a message I did not want. Our game had nothing to do with Prey. There's a bit of the artistic creative side is insulted when you tell an artist, you know, your game is going to be called Prey, and you go like, I don't think it should. I think it's a mistake.
yeah, it's so weird. Like,
Uh,
were they thinking
yeah.
it would be good for name recognition to a completely unrelated game that people liked like a decade prior? I don't get it.
I don't
Yeah, very
see
strange.
I don't see, at least in this snippet of this interview, which he gave on another podcast, the AIAS Game Makers Notebook podcast. I don't see if he actually explains what their rationale was. The only other thing I want to say is this is something I didn't really consider, but he said that as for the original Prey and the team behind that game, Colantonio said that he felt a lot of guilt about that. And he said, I want to apologize to them many, many times. I didn't really have a chance because I don't really know those people. It was never our intention to steal their IP and make it ours. It's gross, and that's not what I wanted to do. I never really considered that aspect of it as well, which is totally true.
We always just joked about it, you know, calling them different praise and stuff. Yeah, no, I never really actually knew why. I just thought it was some sort of, I don't know, maybe I thought just the first, what, Prey 2000 whatever just didn't sell well, or like, well, we like the name, but
Man, something
don't
like
like anything else.
Psychoshock
I don't know.
or
Are you talking
Neuroshock would have been such a
about
much better title.
the Cherokee
Yeah.
Prey? Well, that was supposed to have a second one. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
you're
remember.
supposed to like go around and bounty hunt, right?
You were gonna be a
That
bounty
sounds
hunter.
cool.
That would have been cool. But then, yeah, I think the new one though, that one's definitely a better direction.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, very straight, but it didn't need, because they could have called it something else. Like, then, you know, had nothing to do with.
Originally, it was going to be Psychoshock or Neuroshock or something like that.
By that, reasonable. It's a name, I would say.
So Greg, what are we thinking about this new Assassin's Creed game? Seems like Ubisoft has announced the next Assassin's Creed game is Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Mirage. So I've heard some things about this game. I don't know what's true and what's not. I know it's supposed to take place in Baghdad, which is whatever for like a setting for me. Whatever. Don't really care about that. But I guess they're going away from like the leveling system and like the RPG version of that and trying to go back to like what they originally wanted. I think that's that's the they're showing it off at like 5:00 today, right?
Oh, is that
But,
what's happening today? Okay,
the
so maybe we'll
Ubisoft
have
forward.
some breaking news later on to report about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll see me look up a video and I'll either be audibly disgusted or I'll be like, oh, that was cool. I might get that.
Oh,
But yes, I did hear
definitely-
that's supposed to be like a stripped down stealth thing again.
Let's
featuring
delay that
Valhalla
then until
character.
we maybe hear more about it later on today. I wanted to pick up this one because you're going to be streaming this game later, Greg. But the Mortuary Assistant is apparently already being made into a movie.
That's so weird.
Why?
The Mortuary Assistant's
I-
creator, Brian Clark, stated that movies have always been the main inspiration for the style of my games. I'm always trying to create story, dialogue, and moments that feel filmic. An opportunity to bring this project full circle is making a dream of mine a reality.
Hey man, good on you. Live your
I
dream.
mean, I think that theme could be a movie, like working in a. I mean, I'm sure that's been done. No, am I crazy?
I liked that
Maybe
one
not.
movie with
I'm.
oh man, Emil Hirsch and
Is it the one
his
with
father.
the cultist?
Well,
Is that
they
movie?
are father and son who work in a mortuary, and then a girl's body comes in, and then weird, mysterious, supernatural things start to happen. I liked that one.
Oh, I don't know about that. I thought there was a movie. Maybe it's like a girl's working like a nurse is working like a night shift, and then she like starts going crazy, like and like gets like attacked by like ghosts or demons or something like that.
It sounds like it could be 100 movies.
Very true.
All right, fellas, let's go ahead and start. I don't know how we usually do this, Flask. If you usually take us totally offline as far as audio goes,
No, I'm just
but we're gonna
gonna
go ahead and
transition to
Yeah.
our idle scene, so you can still talk while I set things
Yeah,
up for for
great.
the game.
Great. So next up, friends and listeners and whoever else might be out there, we're going to be playing the Game of Life 2. Now, I'm going to warn you guys, we're going to try to keep you all in the loop, but we all had a vacation earlier this year where, among many things, we played a surprisingly amount of the Game of Life 1 on the PS1 in a basement in Michigan. So this game has some baggage with us. We, in the sense that, well, baggage is not the right word. It has some history. This Game of Life 2, we've never played it before, though. I think it's a little bit more modern, right, Flask?
I'm excited.
Oh, absolutely, it is.
Are we playing this with a controller?
Yes, I think so. I think so.
We'll figure it out. Okay.
Remember to stop your recordings, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, let's go ahead and stop.
Thank you, babe.
Hey, if you listen to this on an audio podcast, thanks for listening. You'll be able to check out a new episode of our regularly scheduled program next week. But like I said, if you guys want to check out the stream that's about to happen, in your case, it already happened, go to Twitch to see the full thing, or check out YouTube bits on, or check out little segments on the YouTube. The games that we're going to be playing, Game of Life 2. Then we have a surprise retro game for Vito. Vito's always wanted to be playing retro games, but he's man, I really fumbled that. Vito's always wanting to play retro games, but he is unable to select them. So John actually has got a game ready for him. The bunch of us are going to get on Ready or Not for an hour. Then we're going to be playing some Jackbox. And Greg, you're going to be playing The Mortuary Assistant. Fall Guys. Then Greg and I are going to be playing some Hidden Deep. Flask, you're going to be showing us a little bit of Tamba.
Dumba.
And then at the end of the night, we're going to be playing some Played Up. I right now it's Midnight Ghost Hunt or Played Up, but based on some
Everybody,
evidence.
guess what? You know that game? Midnight Ghost Hunt. It turns out it's dead, and about like 4 people play it.
So if you're one of
Which
those
is
4
pretty
people
crazy.
and also a listener of ours, we're sorry you're not going to see that game later on. It'll probably be
Sorry,
Played Up.
bud. We ain't gracing you with our
Sorry,
presence.
we won't infuse the game with our presence. Infuse the population.
But yes, I will be back in one moment, but stay tuned for the Game of Life 2.